Hey Gemini, welcome to your weekly forecast. No, what am I saying? Welcome to Candlelight Tarot for your love reading for October 2019. We're going to see what's happening for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the area of love and romance. I haven't done Candlelight Tarot in a while, and I've been missing it, so hopefully you guys will like it. If you don't, indulge me, just play along. I like the Candlelight Tarot. If you're a cross watcher, welcome. Keep in mind I do cross watcher videos specifically for the cross watcher. So keep an eye out for the October ones. They'll be up soon. As soon as they are, they'll be in the description to this video. I'll have a link in the description as soon as the October ones are up for cross watchers. But we're going to see what's happening for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the area of love and romance. Love and romance. October 2019. We're going to go ahead and lay down 5 cards. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the first card, my dears, is Ace of Swords. So there could be some communication happening for you guys in the near future. I'm saying near future because we're kind of approaching October at the time that I'm recording this, so it could be happening in the beginning of the month. You may be hearing from someone. Now, couple of things about this. Ace of Swords for me also. You guys who've had private readings with me, you know my style is to figure out where the blocks are, to go in deep, to clear them out of the way, all of that stuff. So Ace of Swords for me typically would say some kind of mental block or limiting belief you have about love is being cleared. And I do feel that's the case for a lot of you. But I also feel, in addition to that, there's going to be some communication happening. There's going to be somebody reaching out with the intention of fixing a misunderstanding or moving forward in some kind of a way. I feel, in other words, some of you maybe are seeing somebody, or you've been seeing somebody for a while, and there's this desire to move forward or to take the next steps, but there's some communication about how this is going to happen or the way that this is going to happen. Maybe even brainstorming in some kind of way. Like, how is this going to work? Like if it's a long distance relationship or something of that nature, you guys might start seriously discussing how you're going to make it work, how you're going to come together, who's moving, who's doing what, how you're going to make this happen. Putting a label on things for some of you, like what are we going to call this, what are we looking for down the road. There's a communication, but it's coming in with preparation for action. That's what it feels like to me. So for those of you who haven't heard from someone and you kind of feel like you might be going to be hearing from them, they might be reaching out with discussion about reconciliation. It's not just like a, hey, how are you, what's up, what's going on, how have you been? Even if that's how they approach it, their intention is, okay, how are we going to move forward from here? How do we get to the next step? What should the next step be? Like, that's the feeling that I'm getting around that, Gemini, okay? And for a lot of you, it will be more of like the whole clearing spiritual path, clearing out limiting beliefs that have been blocking you in love. Some of you are getting an idea that's like popping up in your head. Like just some ideas popping up in your head. It's completely and totally unrelated to love, but it's a little breadcrumb on the trail, as I call it. Your angels and guides are trying to lead you somewhere, to have you meet somebody, to meet up with somebody. So you might be like, oh, you know what? I haven't been to this place in forever. And you just keep feeling like you want to go, and then you go and you happen to meet somebody there. Or, oh, I haven't called so and so in forever, I should reach out and call them. And you might call them and they might say, oh, hey, a bunch of us are going to go do this or whatever, and you might get invited to something, and you might meet somebody new through that experience. So I feel some of you are receiving this idea to do something. Or maybe some of you are like, oh, I'm going to take classes in pottery, or I'm going to start a business, or whatever it is, right? Like you're having some kind of idea to do something, and it might be completely and totally unrelated to love, but spirit has placed that thought in your idea because you're being led to meet a person. I feel that very strongly too with the Ace of Swords. Next, Gemini, we've got King of Wands, that feisty, sexy King of Wands. So some of you could be dealing with a fire sign. Some of you could have fire in your moon or in your rising. Okay, I just heard Sagittarius. All right, I know that this could be Aries, I know that this could be Leo, but I specifically heard Sagittarius when I turned it over. So some of you could be having something karmic clearing with a Sagittarius. Some of you could just be dealing with a fire sign overall. And King of Wands is a very passionate card for me. I feel for some of you, you are, I don't want to say you're settling. I don't want to say that because I don't think people should settle. To me, to settle is like a negative kind of ideal. But I think for some of you, the Ace of Swords is what you thought you wanted in a relationship is changing. And so you might be in a King of Wands kind of relationship where it's more of like a lover than a partner. And some of you might be deciding that that works for you. Some of you are saying, you know what, based on the circumstances of my life right now, this isn't such a bad deal, this isn't such a bad thing. So some of you might be having more of a lover situation than like a, you know, a fiance or a spouse or something like that. You might just have this very intimate relationship with someone, but maybe it's not going to be a traditional relationship. Okay, I kind of get the feeling or the sense there in that way. I do feel, Gemini, some of you are being very fiercely, persistently pursued by someone who is very, very sexy. Okay, lucky you, Gemini. It doesn't sound like a bad problem to have. I feel some of you are being very persistently pursued. However, I will say this: if you are married or living with someone or coupled, this is part of the appeal for this person. Like they might be seeing you as like this channel, challenge. However, channel came out of my mouth, so that could be not accidental. They may be seeing you subconsciously as a channel. They might be like wanting to latch into your energy and kind of feed off your energy a little bit. That's why they're finding you so irresistible. So beware of that. But what I was going to say is they might be seeing this as a challenge. Like because you're in a relationship or because you're already taken, they want that challenge of getting your attention because it might boost their little ego a little bit. Like, oh, well, yeah, you've already got a boyfriend or you've already got a girlfriend or a husband or a wife, but I'm so sexy that, like, you know, you wanted to be with me. Like, so there might be a little bit of an ego boost in that way. So just beware of that also. I feel like there's going to be such an intense passion and such an intense connection where if you do give into this, if you do give into the temptation, you're going to feel like, oh my goodness, like, you know, this is my soulmate, this and that. But it may be more of a karmic thing. And this person likes the fact that you're taken. So don't think that, oh, okay, well, I'm going to leave my spouse or my partner and then I'm going to be with this King of Wands person energy. Because if you were to do that, they would back off. Like, you know, if you're like, oh, like this is it, this is my soulmate, I'm gonna divorce my wife, or I'm gonna divorce my husband, or like whatever. King of Wands, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, not so fast. Okay, just kidding. Like they would back up. They like that arrangement, and they may already also be in a relationship themselves. So please do not mistake this for like a twin flame kind of situation that, oh, you know, I'm married and they're married, or I'm with someone and they're with someone, or something, but still we feel so called to each other. That's a misrepresentation of what the twin flame really is. That's not a good scenario or situation. And for some reason, people are taught that your twin flame is married or you're married, and there's like this temptation and you all, like, you know, just kind of can't resist. That it's not to say that you can't meet a twin flame who's married. There's a lot of different circumstances. It's a whole other topic. That's a whole other video, my darlings. But I'm just saying in this instance, Gemini, you know, just know, you know, don't walk away from a relationship for a person unless you really know that you're done with the relationship. Because if you're going to walk away from the relationship for a person and then they're going to leave you high and dry and you're going to wish you hadn't walked away from another relationship, then don't do it. Don't walk away unless you're done with that person, regardless of what happens with this sexy beast who's just all up after some Gemini. Next, we have Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Queen of Pentacles, some of you could be dealing with an earth sign energy. You could be dealing with a Capricorn, Virgo, or a Taurus. Queen of Pentacles is going to also indicate that maybe some of you are meeting a person as a result of like a promotion or a work travel or something associated with work and business. Some of you, maybe if you're a business owner, you may be encountering a new love through having to do with, just a vendor or somebody you're doing business with. You may meet somebody in the course of running your business. In a relationship, especially if you're already married, however, I feel when Queen of Pentacles comes up in the relationship, it's saying pay attention to your home environment, that you're going to be able to be closer to your partner, that you're going to be able to have more satisfaction in your relationship by the energy and the vibe in the home, right? Like if your complaint is that, your partner's never around or they always want to go out, what are some ways in which the home can be a little bit more inviting? What are some ways in which the home can be a little bit more comfortable? Also, I feel in terms of intimacy, things like that. What are some ways that the, atmosphere and the home can be a little bit more, sexy or romantic or whatever it might be? When I see Queen of Pentacles, it makes me feel like there's physical changes within the home that can improve the relationship and the love life. Some of you are coming up on, discussions about, making space in your home for somebody to move in, or them making space in their home for you to move in with them. Home, apartment, trailer, whatever it is, their dwelling. They may be making space in their dwelling for you. You may be making space in your dwelling for them. There could be something having to do with home. I do feel also with Queen of Pentacles, though, the message is coming in that you need to be more aware of your physical body. Like you need to be present. You need to be in your body. You need to be ready to receive, just physical comforts, right? You need to give yourself permission to experience physical comforts. So those of you who are trying to manifest a relationship, say you've been single and you're trying to call somebody in, you need to spend more time present in your body. You need to focus on making a comfortable environment for you, where you live, where you sleep, the food that you eat, the way that you care for yourself physically, like treat yourself, pamper yourself, eat nice, healthy, nourishing, satisfying foods, right? Like things that are even maybe a little bit sensual, like a nice, bowl of strawberries or something, or like just something that is appealing to the senses. Like it's good for your body, it looks good, it tastes good, it's healthy. The ways in which like you feel like you're spoiling yourself with something good or something quality. I guess what I'm looking for is quality. Make sure the food that you eat is quality, the sleep that you're getting is quality. Make your environment around you comfortable. Sometimes I feel Queen of Pentacles is saying you need to pamper yourself physically, and that this is going to help bring you into that energy that's going to attract a partner or attract love. Okay, you need to be a little bit more, pampering yourself in that physical way and giving yourself quality, 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 quality. Raise the bar, Gemini. And it's not surprising to me that you would get a card to tell you to be present in your body, because Gemini, you guys have very active minds. You're very intelligent. You have very active minds. You guys can be natural philosophers, but, Queen of Pentacles is saying step inside your body and spend some time there and enjoy it. Enjoy being in your body. All right. Ooh, next we have the Emperor, major arcana card. So there could be a significant soulmate coming in, significant soulmate type relationship coming in, okay, for some of you Geminis. Now, this could also be a fire sign. It's funny how we have this repeating. This could indicate either a Scorp. That's so funny. Okay, this could be a Scorpio male, typically, or a very masculine, a female with lots of very powerful alpha male kind of energy. That does happen. You know, it could be a really, really powerful energy, like a big energy, uh, male or female, you know, Scorpio with masculine energy, or it could be Aries. You know, Emperor is going to indicate typically Aries or Scorpio. It applies to those signs. So some of you could be dealing with an Aries or a Scorpio, but overall, I think the majority of you, this is talking about action, taking action in a relationship, laying down the groundwork, laying down the foundation of it. I also feel the fact that this is coming up is really, really stressing here. That a lot of you Geminis, what you were looking for in love or what your goal was for the kind of relationship you wanted, that's kind of being challenged because I told you with the King of Wands, I felt really strongly this was somebody that was not looking for a traditional relationship. And for me, Emperor is one of those cards too. Now, I know if you watch other tarot readings, some readers are like, oh, it's the Emperor. This is your divine masculine, or this is your twin flame. And it can be. It can be. But sometimes Emperor comes up in a way where the relationship is not going to be a traditional relationship because it's two people who are so incredibly independent that that white picket fence life might not work for them. Okay? So some of you are coming into where you know, you are having a partner that you feel very close to, you feel very satisfied with, but the terms of the relationship and the status of the relationship and the arrangement of the relationship might be very different than what you were expecting or than what you had planned for yourself. And this is not for every single one of you. This is just for some of you, right? Like you may have said, oh, well, I want to live with somebody, or oh, I want to get married. You might have a very close relationship with a person where you guys are like, no, you know, we love each other, but we need our space, you know. Some of you might be deciding that a long distance relationship, like a long-term long distance relationship, is what's best for you. That's very common these days. It's becoming more common. We're hearing more about it in the press and in, like, you know, interviews and things like that. You know, and it's not for everybody. It wouldn't personally be for me, but it works for some people, right? And so some of you might have that. Some of you might be like, well, you know what? I think I like talking to somebody, but I don't have to see them all the time. I'm okay with visiting them or them visiting me, and I live my life and they live their life. And for some of you, that might work for you. Some of you might be like, yeah, well, that's great. That works for me. So I just feel like the terms of your relationship is being negotiated or discussed. You know, and for some of you it will be traditional. Some of you are like, no, like we need to get married or engaged or live together or whatever. But with this Emperor, I feel like whatever it is going to be, there's a foundation being laid. Like there's a foundation, a plan. This is how it's going to be, kind of energy, a structure, defining the structure of your relationship. Next we have here is the Chariot. So there could be travel involved in the relationship. You all could be going somewhere together. If you are long distance, there could be a trip that you're preparing for, or that might be happening maybe closer to the end of the month or later in the year, a trip to visit or see each other. Chariot is movement. It's very, very fast movement. Okay? But what's funny to me is that I feel like, see how this Chariot, he's by himself. It's like a one person kind of deal, one person kind of vehicle. So I do feel some of you are in a relationship that's teaching you that you can have a relationship and you can feel very close to a person, but you could also be very, very independent. So some of you Geminis are breaking out of some kind of codependency pattern or some kind of codependency cycle. For some of you Geminis, you know, your partner is either telling you or you're telling your partner if there's some issue that needs to be resolved. Like, this is your issue. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. Like, I'm still here for you, I'm cheering you on, but you know, you're gonna have to take control of the situation, or you're going to have to take charge of the situation. And so for some of you, that might be new, because you might be used to codependent people who want to jump up and get their hands into everything. So you're learning a new kind of love in that way, right? Somebody who's like saying, you know, I'm going to be here cheering you on as you do what you need to do to heal or to get stronger, but I'm not going to jump in and, you know, tell you what to do every step of the way. I'm going to let you figure out your journey, but I'm here and I have your back in the meantime. So that could be very different for some of you, but also very liberating. Very, very liberating. There's this very strong sense of independence in this reading, Gemini. Your partner wants to be independent. Your partner is fiercely independent, wants you to be independent. And so you're going to be going through some changes and transformations. And again, there may even be travel at some point, physically traveling. So maybe you all will take a trip together, or, you know, visit to see each other if there's distance between you. There could also be something having to do with vehicles, like a vehicle, because Chariot can be transportation in some way, transportation. So, gosh, I don't know, like maybe somebody needs a car. I don't know why this is coming up, but it's coming up. Maybe somebody needs a car and you were hoping that your partner would help you with it, and they might just be like, you know, you have to show me you're not with me for that reason. Like, I'm not going to do it because I want to know that you're here to be with me, and not because you think I'm going to get you a car. Something in that way. Or maybe some of you, Gemini, are having a situation like that. Maybe somebody's wanting you to help them get a car, and you're going to have to say, you know what, like, this is your thing to figure out. I don't know why that came up, but it came up. It's such an odd thing. But I find that when the odd things like that come up, I get feedback later and somebody goes, oh my God, that was exactly an issue I was having, and that gave me clarity, or that helped me. So I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to say the things that come up, even the little odd ones, because it seems like it is for somebody out there. So maybe that was for somebody out there. My darlings, be sure to watch your weekly forecast too. I don't just focus on love on the channel. Every single week I do a reading for each zodiac sign for career, money, spiritual development, healing, you know, interpersonal relationships, all that good stuff. I know love is important, but sometimes we get way too lost in it. I don't want you to get lost in it. So be sure to check out the weekly forecasts. Be sure to you know, be in that energy of, you know, not losing yourself, you know, in the process of seeking love. And my cross watchers, keep in mind, cross watcher videos will be up. Keep an eye out for that. If you would like a private reading, you guys know I love reading for you guys. I have affordable options, just depending on what you want. If you click on the Calendly link, it'll list everything there for you. The prices, the types of readings you can schedule there. You used to be able to pay through there, but there seems to be an issue. Calendly and PayPal are not getting along. I don't know what's happening. They're like, the technology is not communicating or not being compatible for some reason. All of a sudden, I don't know what happened. So you can schedule your reading, but you're not going to get billed. Okay, you're not going to get billed. So you're going to have to submit your payment via PayPal separately. But you can schedule and hold your time. Like, you can go and say, oh, I want my reading at this time, this day, this time. You can go ahead and schedule that time. And then I just have to get the payment before your reading for the reading to go forward. And we're working on it. Tanya's helping me. We're going to try to see if we can find a different calendar system that's going to be good, that's going to work for us, and that we won't have to have this issue anymore. I thank you guys for your patience while we get it figured out. I apologize for any inconvenience, but I'm still more than happy to read for you guys. All right, my dears, I'm sending you tons of love, tons of light. Have a fabulous October.